Hello, welcome back to 1001 Beers You Must Try Before You Die. Here on another summer's evening, cranking through the beers. I've got a really interesting number here. This is first brewed circa 1980s. It is 9% in the book, it is 9% in the bottle, and it is Ritterbock by Kaltenberg. There's a lot to talk about with this beer, so let's crack it open and first of all, I just want to make sure the bottle, the beer there, shows this sort of tall stemmed glass. So the best I could do was this tall stemmed glass here, which is actually a Lindeman's glass from Belgium, but it does the same thing. So let's crack this open and start pouring this into the most similar glass which I own. Which will probably not fit in the entire glass, but it will certainly get quite a good chunk of it out into it. So that's just, oh, that's actually poured really nicely. That's actually looking really good. So let's just put that to one side for a minute. Let's do the tasting notes, and there's a lot to talk about with the beer. So, got the book here. A ruby brown beer with chocolate and caramel notes, plus dried figs in the malty aroma. The taste is malty, figgy, and sweet with chocolate and raisin flavours, rounding off dry, bittersweet, and malty with more raisins. A satisfying, gently warming, strong brew. Okay, so it is dark, it's ruby brown, but it's not a stout or a porter. It's a triple bock, is what it's called. So we'll just let that just breathe for a minute. Let's talk about the bottle. We've still got some beer in. Ritterbock means knight's bock, and there's a whole story. There's a knight on the sort of a very heraldic knight there. It's Kaltenberg Castle, and there's a whole story which I'll tell you in a minute, but I want to taste the beer and then we'll get into the story. So let's go for the smell. It is indeed figgy. I'm getting lots of figs in there. Figgy pudding. Right, I'm desperate to try this now, so cheers. That's lovely. It's very sweet, but it's balanced. I say it's quite balanced. There's no cloyingness. It's kind of raisiny sweet. Chocolate, not really. It says chocolate. I'm getting figgy raisin flavors, very raisiny, very sort of stone fruits. But it's really, really nice. I'll let that just sit in my mouth for it. Let me tell you a bit more about it. So, this is from the setting of Kaltenberg Castle, which is the striking home of König Ludwig Schlossbrauerei Kaltenberg, which is what this is. The brewery is run, or at least the castle is run, by a prince, the great grandson of Crown Prince Ludwig, whose marriage kickstarted Oktoberfest. However, because this isn't from the region of Munich, the prince's own brewery is excluded from supplying beer to the Oktoberfest. So the prince's response was to start his own beer festival called the Ritterturnier. So it's spaced 30 miles away from Oktoberfest on the first 3 weekends in July, and it has jousting, which sounds very, very great to have in a castle setting. It attracts 120,000 visitors, and it's got all medieval kind of themed things. So the brewery's beers are in well effect there, and this one is Ritterbock or Knight's Box, you see, and it's got this. That's why it's got a jousting knight on the front there, because it's all ties in nicely to their festival. It describes it as a rich and fruity strong lager or triple bock. It's one of the strongest beers in Bavaria, made from local barley malts and Hallertau hops, and then lagered for 5 months. Let's have another taste. It's very nice. It's a sipper, but it doesn't taste 9%, which is really good. It claimed the title of World's Best Strong Lager in the World Beer Awards. I don't think it's still got on there. Run by the now defunct Beers of the World magazine in 2008. It says it recommends it, drunk it with roast meats and other hearty dishes, which is the sort of food that's available during the tournament. Well, that is super. Very interesting story from this one. I think it's really nice. I don't think I have much more to say about this. I mean, it's just kind of really raisiny. Very Moorish as well, but I'm not going to try and rush this because it's a strong one. So I will go away, like, comment, subscribe, and see you for another beer review very, very soon.